The Kettleers returned to Lowell Park today looking to put a 2-game skid to rest against the struggling Hyannis Harborhawks, knowing that a win would also clinch them this year's Patriot Cup. Cotuit starter Reed Johnston entered sporting an astounding 0.52 ERA, but after a clean first inning he surprisingly let the bottom of the Hyannis order get to him, as 8-hitter Rowdy Jordan hit an RBI single to right to put Hyannis on the board first. The 9-batter Anthony Servideo would rope one even farther to right, as it landed at the base of the fence for a double that would bring Rowdy Jordan around and make it 2-0 Hyannis. As unexpected as this was from Reed Johnston, many expected he could still mitigate the damage, but Hyannis' leadoff hitter Jordan Westberg proved yet again to be a bright spot in the Harborhawks lineup with the 4th hit of the inning, an RBI single up the middle that put Hyannis up 3-0. Johnston finally got out of the second, and the Kettleers were determined to stay in this one from then on. With runners on in the third, Chad McDaniel hit a single to Christian Robinson in right, and Robinson gunned a perfectly placed ball to Cody Pasek at the plate, who tagged the sliding runner for an impressive out to keep the score unchanged. Cotuit fans perked up when Nick Gonzalez stepped into the box in the third, and perhaps because he was upset at being snubbed from the league's upcoming home run derby, he decided to prove why he deserved an invite by taking a ball to opposite field that snuck just inside the right field foul pole for a solo shot, his 6th of the season, which put the Kettleers on the board.
Gonzo sprints around the bases and puts the Kettleers on the board with his 6th home run of the season, a solo shot here at Lowell Park.
And with runners on in the 4th, Cam Hill was at the plate. He took a pitch high and inside which he thought hit him, but when the ball got away from the catcher, Hill sealed his lips and let the play continue, which allowed Casey Schmidt to charge home from third to score and make it 3-2 Hyannis. But perhaps it was karma that got Cotuit back in the 5th, as a Trey Holland pitch bounced high off Cody Pasek's gear, easily allowing a Hyannis runner to score and make the Hawks' lead 2 again. But in the 5th, Cotuit would cut Hyannis' lead in half on a sac fly by Parker Chambers to left field, which allowed Matt Mervis to easily tag and score while the left fielder didn't even throw to the plate. Only down 1 and with a shortened game threatening due to dark clouds overhead and heavy rain inbound, the Kettleers would need a solid 6th inning on defense to keep it close. Unfortunately, they got just the opposite, as Jared DeSantolo homered off of Holland to make it 5-3 Hyannis. Later in the inning, Ian Fair would ground a ball up the middle, and Trevor Hauver would hustle home from second to beat the throw and make it 6-3 Hyannis. The Kettleers knew the bottom of the 6th could be their last inning, and they put as much fight in at the plate as they could. Cam Hill led off by chopping a ball a few feet in front of the dish, and he hustled down the line to beat the throw. However, the next 2 Kettleers both struck out, so the fans were on the edge of their seats for this one. Adam Oviedo was up next, and he worked a great walk to get on base, and then it was Nick Gonzalez up to the plate again, and the player who has been Cotuit's rock time and time again pulled through once more with a ball placed up the middle that would score Hill and make it 6-4 Hyannis. Up next, Matt Mervis worked a great walk akin to Oviedo's, which loaded the bases for Mason McWhorter, who had seen a lot of recent play due to his hot bat. That very same bat came through today, as he grounded a ball just past the second baseman's outstretched glove for a single that would bring both Gonzalez and Oviedo around to score, knotting the game at 6-6. To the fans' delight, Cotuit now had a chance to go up on Hyannis in the inning, and Parker Chambers was at the plate to do it. Chambers roped a ball into right that the right fielder bobbled, enabling Mervis to score easily for the go-ahead run, despite McWhorter being tagged out trying to score after him for the final out of the inning. After the go-ahead hit, the umps convened because it was incredibly dark on the field. The Cotuit players anticipated they'd call the game, ready to storm the field and celebrate Chambers' walk-off hit, but the umps decided to play on. However, after Cotuit recorded 1 out in the 7th, home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg abruptly shed his mask and called the game then and there, which signified an anticlimactic but still satisfying comeback win for Cotuit. With today's 7-6 win, the Kettleers have beaten Hyannis in all 4 of their meetings so far this season, meaning they have already clinched this year's Patriot Cup and their 9th in a row. Although heavy rain is very likely in the forecast tomorrow, the Kettleers are scheduled to meet the Falmouth Commodores at Gov Fuller Field, where they would be looking to put their recent losses even further in the rearview mirror. Tonight, we talked with Coach Roberts about how his players rebounded in this game, as well as with Parker Chavers about his game-winning hit. Sending you now to those interviews, and signing off for the Cotuit Cavaliers, I'm Jacob Cohen.
Your team had a heck of a comeback in that last inning. That wasn't really the last inning, but it ended up being the last inning.
I thought it was going to be the last inning before it was the
exactly.
last inning.
What did you think of your team's resiliency? Your guys put together some really good at-bats in that situation.
You know, like I told them, this is the reason you keep coming to the ballpark. You lose a 3-2 game, a 1-0 game. You make some big mistakes in this game, and somehow you battle back. And that was fun to watch. You don't know that you're going to get those last two hits, but that was really fun to watch. And we told Casey, he's not seriously hurt, but we're glad he got hurt so that McWhorter could get in the game. And then Parker came up with just a huge hit.
Exactly. Yeah. Trey Holland made his debut today, came in a couple days earlier. How do you think he did, and what does he bring to your bullpen
I think
moving
he
forward?
did an excellent job. I've known Trey for a long time. He was here a little bit last year. And, he brings a change of pace like Coach Spence did when he was here. And honestly, he made two bad pitches. He had a left-handed hitter in the bottom of the order, 0-2, threw two curveballs, looked awful, and then he throws a high changeup on 0-2. And as an old catcher, I'm cringing. And that led to that inning run. And the home run, Trey's going to give up some home runs, and I'm willing to go with that. He's going to give up some. But he did a great job, and we need pitching help right now, and I'm really appreciative.
Right. Nick Gonzalez hit his second or third opposite field home run with just a great drive. They always talk about in the major leagues when you listen to these announcers how hard it is to get that opposite field power. How impressed are you that he's already this far along, this early in his career?
Well, that's something he's learned years ago. You don't teach that. That's kind of just one of those guys can get up and hit, and he hits the ball where it's pitched. C.J. Crone's the only player I've ever had here, right-hander, that could consistently hit the ball out that way. And, Nick's about half his size. But he's an amazing player. He's an amazing player. He gets the bad call on 3-1 and gets a fastball, and he absolutely hits a missile. So, all you can do is say thanks for being a Cotuit Cavalier.
Parker Chavers here delivered the huge hit for the Cavaliers, which ended up being the walk-off hit, even though it wasn't really the walk-off hit. Just take us through that at-bat briefly. What's going through your head seeing that pitcher, that kind of stuff?
I got a 2-0, got a strike one call that didn't really like, then fouled the next pitch off, got 2 strikes. Took a break ball in the dirt. It was 3-2, and I knew he didn't want to walk me, so I was sitting fastball and got one middle in, and luckily put a good swing on it.
Nice. How do you keep this momentum, keep this confidence moving forward from this performance?
Yeah, it's definitely good. Comeback ones like that are a big morale booster. They're definitely tough, grind of a game, but it's good. We can rally around the guys, and everyone, steps up there in the late innings.